down and pulling this thing together and getting ourselves a win this weekend.
Who's going to be your kicker?
We'll compete for that. You know, Kip is still a very talented kicker. I mean, he just is. You can't watch him in practice and not come away thinking that there's a kicker inside. And we just got to keep, you know, working with him and getting him to trust himself. Confidence is everything when you're in an individual sport. You can talk to golfers, you can talk to anybody. You have to trust that that's going to go. And while we're working with him, if he still gives us our best chance, then he'll be the kicker. If there's someone that, as we continue to work with Kip and try to get him back to being what he's capable of being, that's better, gives us a better chance, then we'll make that adjustment. But right now, we'll have to analyze that.
You think you might start going for two, like Lane always says?
You can do that, but your odds, you know, go down. But we'll keep track of what's the prudent thing to do with respect to that.
Rick, how involved were you in the defensive game plan leading into Houston?
Well, I have a great deal of faith in my defensive coordinator. As I told you, I interviewed a lot of guys, and I think Joe Tracy will do a great job. This is the first game in his system, and we didn't play fast enough for it to show what it's capable of doing and what it has proven to do in the past at every other stop he's been in, as I did my analysis. We can play better, and we will, and I'm looking forward to that. I have a job as a quarterback coach. I have a job as a head coach. I'm going to be briefed on all the things we do defensively, but for me to waste my time, and I don't mean it wasting it, but for me to be over there spending a lot of time doing that is not doing what I'm supposed to be doing on the other side. You have to have faith in letting guys do the job you hired them to do, and I continue to have great faith in Joe.
Last night on the conference call, you said there were some good things that were done on the DL. What were some of those things?
We had a good push. We had a great push, and I think Owamabe had a really good game. There were some, technical things that Noki wants better, and we'll get them better. And sometimes we're trying to get sacks too much because it was so many passes. We've got to make sure that we stay in our lanes and don't let him out of the pocket to make first downs with his legs. We're going to see that again in the coming weeks. We've got to be disciplined enough to, when we get an opportunity to get somebody, we got to get him down. But if we don't, we got to stay in our lanes and make sure that we get to close up those run lanes that are created when you're trying to get an all-out pass rush. But in terms of pad level and coming off and a lot of guys being able to play, there were some really good things. Their running yards, there were a couple times we weren't in the right gap, but most of the time it was just because we didn't tackle real well. And ultimately that will improve, and we're going to make that a huge point of emphasis this week. We felt like we had done so in the absence of scrimmage downs, but apparently we hadn't done enough. And so that's a fundamental that has to be really, really honed in on so that we become a great tackling defense.
What was your opinion of the performance by the linebacker?
A little disappointing, considering that we have some experience there. I thought that both Pat and Sean, who you kind of rely on as stalwarts in those positions, were a little bit sometimes overzealous and sometimes a little bit not reading their keys. But I have enough confidence in both that they'll respond, and they'll both be terrific football players as we go forward in the season. Again, I just think that it was a little bit uncharacteristic. And again, first time in a game in this system, and it was a very fast tempo game with respect to how they got up to the line. It was a warm day. That opening drive probably sapped a lot of energy, but I'm not giving excuses. We can play linebacker better, and we will.
Rick, you talked about wanting Kip to trust himself and build his confidence and everything. If you don't go with him, though, isn't that going to defeat that purpose of trust and confidence in himself if he doesn't he's going to be continued to be worked with. All right,
chance, the best player at the time in the game to kick the ball. And if, as he's going, if his confidence is not at a place where he's believing in himself, and these are judgment calls, then I have to, there's someone else on the roster that I got to trust at that time. But that will not mean that I'm going to ever stop working with Kip to get him to be the best player that he can be.
No, I wouldn't say that, I'm just saying for him personally.
That'll be part of a long conversation with Kip in terms of how I'm going to go forward. I want him to win the job, just like I want every player in this team to win the job. That doesn't mean I'm pulling against the other player. It means I want the best out of every player on this team. And if they can give their best and it's better than what somebody else can do, then they're going to be the one who's won. That's the essence of competition.
What do you know about their offense? Is it similar to yours at all?
They have some pistol formation stuff, and they certainly, like a lot of teams around the country, have copied some of the things that Nevada does. And so our defense hopefully will respond to that, having seen it a lot in both spring ball and fall camp.
That make your game prep a lot easier than another week?
Easier, no. We need to be spirited this week. In terms of the mental assignments, possibly. But we want to be sharp as we can be. This is an important game for us to go out and play our best football and see if we can't get our first win in the 2011 season.
Where do you plug in a healthy Jeff Bach on offensive line?
Well, the key is to make sure he's healthy. Yeah, he's going to get to practice this week. We'll see how much. He's going to be rusty, not only missing spring ball and fall camp, but also all last year. So how quickly we can get him up and going is anybody's guess. But we're excited to have him in practice. I know he's excited to be out there, and we'll hopefully get him going as fast as possible.
Tackle or guard?
We'll wait and see. But I think probably just in terms of the first reps will be a quick tackle.
Will he return tomorrow?
He'll be in practice tomorrow, yes. And Glenn Love, I had reported yesterday, might be out for a couple of weeks. Go down to questionable on him. He's feeling better, and he's going to see a doctor either today or tomorrow about harnessing, and he may have still some chance to be available.
Any other news on any kind of new players showing up, new face showing up in practice? Maybe
Not yet, but I'll keep you posted. Everybody good? Happy Labor Day.